Good Saturday morning, everybody. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. So, kids, this is our setup right now. We've had snow, of course, across northern parts of Vermont, and then freezing rain, a mixture line, roughly, basically, southern Addison County into northern Rutland County, into southern Windsor County. And this has been holding pat, if anything, maybe drifting a little bit further off to the south. And we're going to look at some modeling ahead, but this is good news up here because this area, this back edge of the caboose of the train it's working in, of course, this is a frontal boundary, a stationary frontal boundary with cold air to the north, warmer air to the south. You can see by the temperatures indicated here where that frontal boundary lies, and of course, precipitation type. The blue is snow, the yellow colors here are sleet, and of course, the red is freezing rain, and there's been quite a bit of it. So if we run the model from last night, you can see we picked up anywhere from about 6 to generally about 8 inches, kind of fairly common across the region right now. And I know everybody wants to be a weatherman, so here's your chance, folks. Now you can do some model interpolation and figure out what's going on for yourselves. But this back edge here, the caboose of this little energy is going to work across. We're going to see a little bit more light snow work across the region, and then eventually all of that's going to work on out. And things are going to be improving for this afternoon, but not in southern Vermont. This is going to be only for northern Vermont where the snow has been falling, and of course it's pretty healthy. So the modeling here on the left-hand side is the European model, the ECMWF, and on the right-hand side is the HER model, the HRRR model, High Resolution Rapid Refresh American model. These two are in very good agreement. Let's run the model. This is valid at 9 o'clock this morning. And you can see that that precipitation, at least by the European account, is on its way out. A little bit lingering, it looks like, for the HRRR, but you can see how this develops and pushes out, and things definitely improve across parts of northern Vermont. However, the freezing rain does change to rain, so even some improvement, but there's still this little hitch here, generally east of the Green Mountains. It's just holding a pocket of cold air, and so a little bit of pockets of freezing rain, and this is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. But again, northern Vermont, after the snow, just another regular snow day. It's that central area and point south has been the problem. So what's going to happen is we're going to see temperatures cool again, and freezing rain is going to redevelop across parts of southern Vermont and then try to make its run and spread north. But not until after midnight. So we're looking at a good window right now for this afternoon into this evening, and then after midnight, all bets are off as we're going to get shellacked again by some light freezing rain. So this is how the model sets up. You can see that the light freezing rain and the colors, the kind of pink colors here, this is valid about 8 o'clock this evening on Saturday evening. So what ends up happening is the frontal boundary is going to wiggle back to the north. There's a little bit of ridging off to the west, and that's going to push the frontal boundary back to the north. It's like spaghetti after all. And it gets into Washington County roughly about, this would be valid, let's see, 06Z would be 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're talking about 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, and then all bets are off all the way to the Canadian border. We're going to see, at least east of the Green Mountains, some light freezing rain, and again, that's going to cause some light glazing until tomorrow morning after the sun comes up at about, let's say, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Things are going to start to warm up, and we're going to see that freezing rain change over to rain as temperatures make a slow rise. And then tomorrow during the afternoon on Sunday and into Sunday night, it's primarily just plain old rain shower activity, but you can get a little pocket of freezing rain here. So this is going into Monday, basically we're talking Sunday night, and Monday a little bit of a healthier band. This may even include a couple rumbles of thunder by 21Z, and temperatures are going to be relatively warm at this point, but that's a long ways out. So the worst traveling, of course, is icing, whereas snow-covered roads can be dicey for travel for sure, but something that usually we can manage. It's ice that is the big problem unless it's treated. And of course, our main highways more than likely will be treated. So this is valid earlier this morning, and this is the freezing rain spreading across the region up to 1/4 of an inch in the Connecticut River Valley, 0.03 of an inch in Middlebury. So this forecast for the freezing rain, it falls apart in the afternoon. That's where we are here for Saturday afternoon. And then it starts to make a little bit of a drift back to the north. This is valid at about 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. And then, hey, it's all going to push north, and here we go. So we're going to pick up a little bit of glazing. Indications are not a huge amount, but basically in northern Vermont, we're looking at probably 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch. Typically, these things are less than what this is showing, but that's the name of the game here. It's going to go all the way to Quebec City. In fact, look at this. This is quite the swath of freezing rain for this time of year. Very unusual. Okay, I have one more model to look at. This is from the Storm Prediction Center, local American model. Very, very good. It's the high reference, high resolution ensemble forecast. So a lot of models going together and picking out the standard. So you see the freezing rain is working its way north. Let me go back just a little bit here. So this is valid at 8 p.m. this evening. That would be Saturday evening. That freezing rain line, a mixture line, is just a little bit south of the Barry-Montpelier, maybe even into the Mad River Valley at this point by 8 o'clock tonight. However, that's going to be very slow to work in. And again, this is at 8 p.m. this evening, so you can follow it here. It tries to creep in, cuts into Washington County. This is 06Z. Now that's about 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And then everything spreads further to the north, much like we saw. But then warmer temperatures are going to change that over so that during the day Sunday, we're going to see primarily some pockets of freezing rain in the morning, the worst in the Northeast Kingdom, parts of New Hampshire, and then it's all changing to rain otherwise. And that's going to be the name of the game here with just rain showers during the day on Sunday. The worst of it is over with that snow, that surge of moisture, more robust, and then the worst of the freezing rain had moved on through. But we're going to get shellacked one more time as freezing rain will drift north out of southern Vermont tonight, but that's going to be after midnight, so we have a window of opportunity for basically this afternoon and this evening. Things go downhill rapidly after midnight. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, thanks for watching.